Hi, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Dhanavad, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Keshav Prabhu. Happy to see you. Hare Krishna devotees.
Hare Krishna. Hello, Haribo. Mike, is that Mike?
Yes.
Mike in Swazi? Can you hear us? I don't think he can hear us.
Mike Prabhu, are you able to hear us?
And the message.
Yeah. Oh, there, he's connecting to the audio.
Now.
Yes, now he's audible.
Now you can hear? All right. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
How have you been? We haven't seen you in a while. Have you been okay?
How are you, Prabhu?
Okay. Good. How is Lakshmi doing?
Yeah.
She's having fun, huh? So much love she has over there.
Yeah, Maharaj.
She's a lucky dog.
Yeah. Protect. Protect for me.
Mama Devi is not.
I just sent the message to the group, so let's see if she comes.
Okay, we'll start with Vandana first.
Okay.
I have to make it a little wider, I think.
Okay.
No, not that.
Yes.
The words, the prayer itself, make it a little wider. Dandavats, Linda, Dr. Linda.
Oh, Dandavad Maharaj, how are you?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good.
You're
Yes.
good?
Yes, I am. Busy, good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you have
What
any?
else is...
Do you have any contact with Kanupriya?
Yes, every week.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I go and see her as well. Yeah. Yeah, I do. We do sort of art things together as well.
Is she okay? I know
Yeah, she's good.
she said she had an operation and
Yeah, she had...
pneumonia as well.
Yeah, that's right. She's getting over that.
Oh,
So that's quite good. And I think in July she's going to India for 6 weeks.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, the operation went all right, and she was recovering from that, and then she went and helped a friend and got pneumonia. But yeah, she's good. She's getting much better now. Yeah.
That's nice to hear.
Yes. So I'll send her your wishes. Tell her you asked after her.
Huh?
I'll tell her that you asked after her.
Oh yes, we sent the message. Actually,
Oh,
she Krishna Kesava contacted her.
okay.
That's how we found out. She mentioned she was sick.
Yeah, she was quite poorly.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Swazi. Good to see you again. Namaste.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's start. Vandana prayers. You can just repeat along with us if you know how to read the Sanskrit. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pada Kamalam Shri Guru
Vaishnavasya
Shri
Sri
Rupam
Rupa
Sagrajatam
Savinara
Sadhu-Sanga Savadhutam Haryana Shri
Om Agnanatirmirandasya Vinantunashaya
Shiro
Chakmunmilitam Yena
Tasya
Tasmai Namaha
Puja
Pujati Bhargavandita
Sahayavanvitaya Sada
Parvati Ya Brahma Gite
Sridhara Nijahasta
Raja
Puripam
Purvitam Sasapatam Dharam
Vande Guru
Tasira
Shila
Vajati Vedani Guru
Gaur
Babi Sasupura Rugainaya Chikashamuni Sita Fitya Nikuna Kiruka Antanuga
Apatana
Vida
Govinda Bida Bharatana
Iswa Shantijo Bhagava Premo Vija
Bhagavad Prem Deva Vyatanam
Alar Selasvitam Tandrananda Purasadeko Ayaya Sri Santani Suva Kilasitam Saraswatanam Sridhara Saraswati Vinito Gauriya Kurang Banye Batu Maduriva Mata Gagan Pintu Gaurang
Maya
Navada Timing Kilogarang Gatangoti Jiva
Krishna
Krishna Prema Sudati Kanam Sukam Prabha Bhaje
Namo
Namo Bhaktavaruta Murtaye Aurandri Pamaringaya Madhava
Bhakti Bhakti Gauravaja Shishta
Vanshakava Vanshatattva
Krishna
Namo
Namo Bhagavate
Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Maharaja Namaha Bhagavatam
Sriman Rasa Rasaram Vrindaya Tulsi Deva Vihai
Krishna Bhakti
Atanatva Mantra Bhagavat Jai Swadika Hare 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Santa Maharaj Ki Jai
Jai
Giri Govardhan Ki Jai
Jai
Alabeda Bhaktivinda Ki Jai
Jai
assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees. Gaur Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol.
Sripad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai
Jai. Srimati Uma Devi Ki Jai.
Jai
I see Vishwambar is here also. Huh? Invisible.
Oh, Vishwambar Prabhu, Dhanavad.
Dandavat all devotees. Dandavat all devotees. Hari Hari.
Dhanavad.
Okay, let's have today we're discussing Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam, Jaya Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Paribrajaka-acharya, Astotana Sata Sri Sripad, Bhakti Rakshak Dev, Goswami Maharaja Ki Jai.
Jai
Jai.
Jai Sri Prapanna-jivanamrtam Ki Jai.
Jai
Jai.
Today we're on chapter, let's see, on chapter 9, text 18. These are the words of the Supreme Lord on the topic of surrender, Sharanagati. The main thing that Krishna is asking from Arjuna, he tells so many things to Arjuna to be detached, and about yoga, and about Sankhya, about karma, about jnana, about dharma, telling him so many things. But ultimately, what does he say? Sharanagati. Mam ekam sharanam. But just surrender to me. This is what Krishna is asking of us. Primarily, foremost and primarily. Surrender. He had to convince Arjuna of that fact. That's what he should do. Some people do all kinds of things to try to understand God. But they go to the various religious rituals, performing certain duties, maybe studying different books and philosophies. But Krishna says, Dharma, Sarva Dharma, give up all those endeavors and Mam Ekam Sharanam, and just surrender to me. This is the idea, surrender. So this book is about that central concept of how surrender and how do you surrender to Krishna. So Srila gives his commentary on this next sloka. Karma Jnana Dhyana Yoginam Api Tatad Bhavam Tatva Ye Machita Shakti Ye Machit Shakti Gata Shraddha Ashrita Bhajante Taeva Sarva Shrestha. And the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, Yoginam Api Sarvesam Madgatain Antaratmana Shraddhavam Bhajate Yomam Same Yuktatmato Mata. And the meaning is this: of all yogis who follow the path based on action, knowledge, and meditation, karma, jnana, dhyan, the topmost are those who abandon their respective attitudes in order to take refuge in their heart's faith and my personal potency, Swarup Shakti, and thus engage in my pure devotional service. So here, Krishna is explaining what I just, Sridhara is explaining what I just said. All these different processes are there in the scriptures, and people are practicing so many different things in order to make some connection with a spiritual life. But finally, what Krishna says, ultimately, all you have to do is surrender, take refuge with faith in me. Take refuge in me through your faith, through your heart. Faith means with your heart. You give your heart to Krishna, then everything else will be given automatically. So in the Gita, Krishna gives the translation of the verse in the Gita is, in my opinion, of all types of yogis, the most elevated of all is he who surrenders his heart to me and serves me in devotion with sincere internal faith. Sometimes when we're studying a subject, we may get diverted by so many words, so many ideas, and it becomes difficult to understand what should we do, what is the situation actually. We're trying to understand this world. We're trying to understand our life in this world, and we get advices from so many different people, and there are so many suggestions of doing so many different things. And Krishna himself covered a whole gamut of things Arjuna could do, starting from Sankhya, learning, trying to understand Sankhya philosophy, and what Sankhya philosophy teaches as far. Sankhya means the science of the material world. Krishna taught that in the Bhagavad Gita. That's the science of the material world. Some people say, why you are studying science in devotional life? But Krishna himself presented science. That was the Sankhya. The science of his time is called Sankhya. And by the study of Sankhya, he explained how Arjuna can become, the whole philosophy of Sankhya is meant to explain how we can become liberated from the material entanglement, from engagement in the material world, and gain our true spiritual identity. The whole Sankhya philosophy is about that topic. So Krishna explained that to Arjuna. And then he explained to him about jnana, he explained to him about karma, and he explained to him about yoga, he explained to him about meditation, he explained to him about dharma. So dharma, he explained to him about varnashram dharma. All these things Krishna explained very clearly. He explained to him about action without attachment. All these different techniques were explained by Krishna just to teach Krishna, and just to tell Arjuna at the end, Sarva Dharmam Parityaja. I give up all this stuff. You don't have to worry about all those things. Just surrender to me. And the purpose of all those processes, everything, the purpose of it all is that you come to me, submit to me, as my devotee in love, with sincere internal faith. Now, how do we get that? How do we get that internal faith? Rupa Goswami told, Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu-Sanga Ajanakriya. He said, start with faith. Ado Shraddha. First, you must have faith. Well, where does that faith come from? How does one get faith? How is it that some people have absolutely no faith in God? Most people, many people, you tell them about God or Krishna, what is that? It's all some kind of superstition, phantasmagoria. Why I should have faith in that? It means they don't have any faith in God. Oh, my faith is only in how to make a living for myself. I have to take care of my family, myself. I have to get food. I have to get clothing. I have to have entertainment. Why I should have faith in God? And what has that got to do with anything? But Krishna says, no. This is the first thing you must have. So where does that come from? Why is it that some people have faith automatically? You ask people, is there a God? They say, yes, definitely. And they'll say, well, where did you ever see him? How are you so definite about that? How are you so definite about that? And people have such strong faith in God, no matter what you tell them, they'll say, yeah, no, there is a God. However many arguments we make against that idea, they won't accept it. Where do they get this conviction? And Krishna said, that's the first thing you must have, that conviction, that faith within your heart. So we asked Srila Maharaj, where does that come from? And he told Sukriti. It comes from something called Sukriti. What's the Sukriti? Sukriti means sometime in your life, in previous lives or whatever, you did some good work, something beneficial, not for others and for yourself, something beneficial that was of good nature. And that's situated in a certain position where you could have the feeling of a connection with that ultimate absolute goodness. Here's Krishna, with God, the absolute good. We have to have first something in our own tissues, as we can say, in the innards of our own self. There has to be something good that we are engaged in or have a tendency toward. And just from that in itself, that goodness, their sukriti, the faith will arise. Faith in God will arise. Conviction in Krishna will arise. So that is Shraddha, faith. That conviction that you know. Not everyone has. Maybe everyone has done some good in their life. Not all bad. But somehow that Shraddha doesn't arise in them. So one can understand who has that faith, they are already blessed. They already have received the blessings of Krishna. Just to have that faith in him, have that interest in him. Then you must cultivate that. And then Rupa Goswami explains, how do you cultivate that faith? He calls it the bija, the beej. What is a beej? Is a seed. That's the seed. From a seed, a big plant or a tree, anything can grow. The seed, like in the ovum, can grow into an elephant or a giraffe. That's also a kind of seed. So that seed, that bija, is Shraddha. That's the seed. Now, how does it develop? How does a seed develop into an animal, or whatever, a tree? There must be a proper environment for it to thrive in. If you don't give it a proper land, soil, the water, the air, the sun, if all these things aren't present, the seed won't fructify. So the same thing with the seed of bhakti, the bhakti lata bija, it's called. That seed of devotion, that seed of faith, that needs an environment, a proper environment, so that it may be nourished and its growth toward actual realization, actual surrender, and contact, connection with Krishna, actual love of Krishna. And that love is a relationship between Krishna and the individual living entity. That's possible through this development of the bhakti love. So Rupa Goswami explained that the next step, in order to cultivate that seed, he says, get the right environment. Get it in the right environment. What is that environment? Sadhu-Sanga. He says, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu-Sangata. Get in the right environment so that seed can develop. Sadhu-Sanga means the association of devotees. Those who are already practicing how to make progress toward that goal. That kind of association, that kind of environment will help our own seed of devotion to grow, our own seed of faith to grow and develop into a more mature stages, higher and higher stages of maturity. So like that. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu-Sanga. First, they have faith in the heart, that seed. Then there's the environment, Sadhu-Sanga. When that faith is there, we have faith that those sadhus, they're trying to reach what we're trying to reach. And we have faith in them, that they can help us, they can encourage us, they can nurture us, so that ultimate goal may be reached eventually. And what's the next step that he says after that? All right, you have the proper environment. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu-Sanga. Bhajana. Next step is bhajana. Bhajana Kriya. Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu-Sanga Ta Bhajana Kriya. That bhajana Kriya, Kriya means activity. Bhajana. Bhaj means worship. Bhaj, the word bhakti has the Sanskrit root bhaj in it also. And that bhaj means worship, devotion, dedicate. Not exactly love, but it's a kind of love, even more than love. Dedication, devotion. Bhajana Kriya. activities of loving activities of devotion. In the company, in the environment of devotees, one also wants to engage in the activities of devotion. What are those activities? Chanting the holy names, hearing the scriptures, worshiping the deity, taking prasad with the devotees. These are all activities of devotion. Doing something, cleaning the temple, helping the devotees in some way to maintain the temple and to feed the masses with prasadam, to keep the temple, whatever. In many ways we can serve the devotees, the sadhus, and engage therefore ourselves in the devotional practice, in the cultivation of our own faith. So these things are the first steps in coming to the platform of complete connection, surrender, the love of God. Ado Shraddha, faith, Tata Sadhu-Sanga, having an environment, living in an environment of devotees or living in association, close association with devotees, and Majaraja, engaging in service, devotional service. Whatever way we can give our energy to serve, that will be our devotional service, our Majaraja Kriya. But it must be done in that proper mood, a budget of worship. We can't just serve like a menial servant. No, we want to serve with some devotion, with dedication. We want to do that. And we feel some urgency, some need, and some joy in doing that. And then what happens? What is the next step after that?
Anartha nivritti.
Huh?
Anartha nivritti.
What did you say?
Anartha nivritti. After bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti.
Sorry. Anartha. The next step is that anartha nivritti. Nivritti means nullified. Artha. What is artha? Artha kama, moksha. What are these? Dharma, artha kama, moksha. Artha means wealth, collection. Among the wealth that we possess are so many bad things. Lust, envy, anger, greed. These are also part of our wealth, unfortunately. It's not only money that's what we own. We own so many things. That is the wealth of the soul, the conditioned soul. You got all these undesirable things there, as well as desirable things. Total wealth of the living entity is like that. Both good and bad are there. So the next stage then is anartha nivritti. Anartha is the opposite of artha. Artha is that totality of things. And then anartha means a negation of those things that are not good. Anartha. Nivritti. Get rid of those things. So we have to discriminate within that wealth of who we are, of all the feelings that we contain. Discriminate within that totality and uproot or eliminate the bad things. That is the next step in developing our Krishna consciousness. So we have to go through these stages. We go through these different steps. And there's more and further and further. One can see how to progress, how the soul can be lifted above this material entanglement, and approach that supreme destination. Love for Sri Krishna, Radha Krishna, the gopis. There's a process for doing that. I'm not going to go through all the steps today, but basically, that's what this book is about. Learning how to surrender and progress in that process of coming to greet the Lord, to submit oneself at the lotus feet of the Lord. This is the process of Bhakti Yoga. A long description of what Krishna means by surrender. We want to get this clear. Very central topic and important. If we don't understand this, then we cannot. We'll be wild goose chasing. Wild goose chasing. Going in all directions and not making any progress in spiritual life. Progress has to be made toward that direction. There's the arrow pointing this way. Go this way. Go this way. We have to follow that arrow. Otherwise, if you're lost in the forest, you can go in any direction. But which way is out if you're trying to get out of that forest so you can see where, have some clear understanding of of other things in this world beside trees. Then we have to follow the direction. Which way is out? Don't follow any and all directions. That may not necessarily get you out and may get you more entangled in the forest, but for lost further. So Krishna is giving us the arrows, and the sadhus are showing us the arrow, showing us the way. And if we can take that seriously, then we can make progress. It's not impossible. Don't have to keep spinning your wheels, as they say. Next verse, 19. Niravichina prema bhakti yagyo yajino mat parshada eva param shristaha. The Bhagavad Gita verse. Maya Vesya Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate. Shradaya Prayopetaste Me Yuktat Mata. Yuktatama. My associates who serve me in uninterrupted loving devotion are the most superior. So you can serve Krishna, oh, all right, it's Sunday, let me serve Krishna, like certain religions. I know I was brought up a Christian, a Catholic religion, and the rule was that you had to go to church on Sunday. Sunday was for church. So the rest of the week you can do whatever you wanted, but on Sunday you had to go to church. So that's interrupted, we could call interrupted service. And Krishna is saying, those who serve me in uninterrupted service, uninterrupted loving devotion, are the superior. So there are different degrees of superiority in devotion. Those who are constantly devoted and those who are a little less constantly, little less, and less, like that. Every once in a while, maybe one may think, all right, let me serve Krishna. No, that's okay. Also, you're a devotee, but not a very superior devotee. Yeah? This must be uninterrupted. So Krishna says in the Gita, devoting his whole life to devotional service with unalloyed faith. One who absorbs his heart in me is definitely the highest of all devotees. So Krishna is giving credit where it is due. Those who have a genuine longing to be back with Krishna, to go back to home, back to Godhead. They are no longer interested in being away from home. Like going away from home on a vacation or a tour or whatever. Those who are homesick for their original home, while they're out touring the rest of the world, they're always thinking of their home. And they're always endeavoring somehow or other to get back to that place and to be comfortable there in home life with Krishna. They're happy there. They don't need to go anywhere else. They're so happy to be with Krishna, Radha, and Vrindavan. That's their home. Why would they need any place else to feel comfortable? There's no place else that they can feel more comfortable, more at home than home itself. Yet, there is the fact that we start from this material world away from home. And then we feel uncomfortable here. We feel unhappy here. And we think, wait a minute, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I was expecting. I don't feel that complete satisfaction in doing all these things. I mean, they're nice and all, but there's something missing. And we start searching for that, the search for Sri Krishna, reality, the beautiful, search for pleasure. Krishna, Sridhara called Krishna the reservoir of pleasure. Reservoir of all pleasure, that is Krishna. And we're all searching for pleasure. The true pleasure, not just some temporary flickering pleasure, but pleasure that lasts forever and ever without interruption. So anyone who has that taste, has that kind of mood within their heart, such that they engage uninterruptedly in that process of trying to seek Krishna's lotus feet. They are the highest devotees. There's a standard. If you want to know what is the standard of devotion, there Krishna is giving it in this verse. What is the standard, the highest standard of devotion? Then we may measure ourselves according to our position, how much we meet that standard or not. And this way we have some measuring stick as to how much we must improve to go in the proper direction of our lives or not. We can remain without endeavoring in that way. Krishna doesn't force anyone, but he gives the standard anyhow. And those who are interested in making that journey, that standard is there. Text number 20. Shri Krishna Swayam Rupatvam Sarvam Stitvam Sarvashrayatvam Chid Vilasamayat Pancha Matak Paratanam Nanyat Kinchid Asti Dhananjaya Mai Sarvam Idam Protam Sutre Manigana Iva. Very famous verse in Bhagavad Gita. Shrute manigana. We'll see what that means. The original form of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the origin of all incarnations, the ultimate refuge, the enjoyer of dynamic divinity. And Krishna says, "Oh, Dhananjaya," Dhananjaya is the name of Arjuna, "there is none superior to me. Everything that be is linked with me in my Vishnu form, like gems strung on a thread." Very nice. Gems strung on a thread. Sutre manigana. Sutre means like thread, and money means jewels, pearls. Ever see a pearl necklace? You know, how do the pearls stay up there? Stay up there around your neck. Those pearls are individual things. How do they stay there around your neck? Why don't they fall all over the place? Why? Because there's a string there. There's a string going through those pearls, holding them up. So in this world, we see so many planets, so many individuals, so many different things. But what's holding them together? That's Krishna. He's saying, it's like that. My Vishnu form. Everything, saying, is linked with me like pearls are linked to the thread. You see? He is the support. He is what's keeping it all together. Without that thread, the pearls would just go in all different directions. They couldn't serve any purpose for anyone. So without Krishna, it is like that. Our life is like that. A total mess. A total, what would you say? Cacophony. A mixture of a confusing place. And he's also explaining another thing here, that he's saying that he is the supreme, means that everything that is under him, subordinate to him, is also resting on him. Just like there are the demigods and the other big personalities, whatever they may be, other energies, higher or lower planets, whatever it may be. They all have their support, that string of support is in Krishna. He is the superior, the supreme, that supreme support, that fundamental string upon which everything else is getting its support. That is the other point he was trying to make in order to not only is supporting everything, but he is the fundamental support of all inferior and superior things as well. He's the most superior. So Swayam Rupasya Swarupa Shakti Parvatanam Ashritya Raga Bhajanam Eva Param Pandityam. Pandityam. Next, number 21. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matak Sarvam Pravartate Iti Madhva Bhajante Mam Pura Bhava Samanvita. Then Srila Maharaj is interpreting in this way. The ultimate sagacity is in Ragabaj. bhajan, spontaneous devotion, headed by servitude unto Sri Radhika. Under the impetus of the personal potency of the original Lord, who is beauty's own self, Krishna says, know me as the source of everything that be, spiritual or material. Understanding this, the truly intelligent souls give their hearts to me. They engage in my pure devotional service. And he further explains here, as soon as persons with a propensity for service in love, Bhava Bhajan, realize the original form of Godhead, the Swayamrup, to be the fountainhead of all currents of worship and devotion, then, in the mellow of divine consorthood, Madhurya Ras, they will necessarily feel deep loyalty to, intimately follow, the impetus of full-blown service. Thus, this impetus being the Lord's personal potency, Swarup Shakti, or the female embodiment of the Acme in devotion, Mahabhava Swarup. In this way, they attained to the servitude of Srimati Radharani, Sri Radhadasya. The purport is that the potency of Sri Krishna is also the inauguratrix of worship and devotion unto him, and to engage in pure devotional service, always in the shelter of such a conception in pure heart's devotion, constitutes servitude to the Guru for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or Sri Radhadasya in Madhurya Ras. This is a very fine, you have to say, finer interpretation of this verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Generally, people hear, when they hear this verse, Sarvasya Chaham Ridishani Visto, means that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo means I am, Sarva means all, huh? So Aham, I. So Krishna is saying Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Prabhavo means the creation, but manifest. I am the total, the source of the total manifestation. Matak Sarvam Pravartate. One who knows this comes to me and worships me with all their heart. Buddha Bhava, Samandvita. Generally, we think like that. Everything, all these things that we see, are coming from Krishna. That's the general interpretation. But Sridhara is explaining here something more, a finer detail about this. He's saying not only these things come from Krishna, but the devotion, the love, also is coming from Krishna. The feelings are also coming from Krishna. We may think, oh, I'm so devoted to Krishna, and that is coming from me, my devotion. But Krishna is here saying, no, your devotion is coming from me. Devotion is coming from me. That's my special mercy to you. That's Radharani's mercy, no doubt. Why? Because Radharani is the personification of service, devotional service. She is devotional service mood personified. So whoever partakes in that devotional service mood is partaking in Radharani's own nature. That is her bhava. And it's coming from her. Her bhava is, when it becomes the jiva's bhava, has its origin in her. That's what Krishna is saying. Aham sarvasya prabhava. Everything is coming from me. See? So even our devotion comes from Krishna. Therefore, those who have that devotion, by the mercy of Lord, is they have that only. And not that somehow somebody is so great that they have developed devotion for the Lord. If we think that way, we've misunderstood. Not our devotion. It is the Lord's manifestation of devotion within us that we identify with. And we are and therefore a devotee is very humble. He doesn't say, oh yes, I'm a great devotee. Never. To have that devotion, he realized, oh, it's incredible fortune that the Lord has bestowed upon me. That I can even have any drop of devotion. It's His grace, totally His grace. And the potency, personal potency of the Lord, and of the Lord's own devotional service potency, loving potency, rather, Radharani. Then he says something very important here. So that the Krishna is the inauguratress of worship. In other words, that is Radharani. Inauguratress is Radharani, of worship. And to engage in devotional service, always in the shelter of such a conception and pure heart's devotion, constitutes servitude to the Guru for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, or Sri Radhadasi and Madhava Rasa. So what does he say? Radharani is the potency, is the Shakti. Krishna is the potent, is the reservoir, like you can say the dynamo. Yeah, all right. When you have a dynamo, what happens? You get electricity comes out of it, right? The dynamo is a spinning wheel, under a what would you want to say? A waterfall, and it's spinning. And by setting up certain magnets in the wheel and the axle of the wheel, you can generate electricity by moving a magnet, by moving a metal wire through a magnet. You can generate electricity current in that wire. So that electricity in the wire is coming from the dynamo. The dynamo means the wheel turning and moving the magnets around the wire. That's the dynamo. And that dynamic movement is generating the current. So the current is the potency coming out of that movement, of that dynamo. In the same way, Radharani is the Shakti, the energy of the Lord, the devotional energy of the Lord. So we don't worship Krishna directly if we would say the dynamo, but we worship the Shakti, the energy that is coming to us, and that is filling us with devotion. So we are really servants of that energy. And that's why we worship Guru, because Guru is the Shakti. We are all the Shakti of Krishna. But Guru represents that Shakti in a pure, very pure way. And so by worship of the Shakti, by worship of Guru, we are worshiping Radharani, and thereby worshiping Krishna. Very high concept. And not simply the worship of Gaudiya Vaishnava, and not simply Krishna consciousness, and not simply the worship of Krishna. A little bit more complicated than that. But if we understand properly, by the grace of Guru, by the instructions of our acharyas, we could learn that by serving Guru, we are serving Radharani. We're serving the Shakti of the Lord. We don't ignore the Shakti. Those who want to go directly to Krishna, they think, why do I need anybody else? I'll just worship Krishna on my own. I don't need any guru or sadhu or this or that or the other thing. I have direct connection. No, that is rascals. A true, realized soul knows the difference between worshiping Krishna and worshiping his energy. And our position is we are energy, and we are getting that energy from Krishna's energy. And so our loyalty, our benefit is coming from there, and we are attached to that. We are cognizant, remembering that, conscious of that, and we are leading our lives under that kind of conception, and not the misconception of direct connection with Krishna. Anyhow, very nice. Srila Maharaj is giving this beautiful, understanding to us. Not many people read this book actually to understand what he's saying, because it's a little high, not just the ordinary kind of understanding that most people get when they talk about Krishna and Krishna consciousness. They totally forget about Radharani sometimes. Or they may say Radha Krishna, but they don't really know what they're talking about. They don't really understand what's involved. So deep meaning is here, a deep meaning. Jai Srila Maharaja ki jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Asatana Sata Sri Sripad Bhakti Rakshak Sri Dev-Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Santa Maharaj ki jai. So pray Hari 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 Bol. None. My love to you all. Be well, be happy, and devotional service.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.